all right. We are live with another show. And guess what, guys? We're here to showcase Web3 games on Solana. And it's been a crazy couple weeks as every game that we've been featuring has something just wild and great. And I'm telling you, I think that Valannia right now is this conversation's one that you just definitely want to tune into because I've been following these guys for quite some time. Actually, they were at Breakpoint in Singapore where they had a booth, and I was like, "What is this Valannia game? Like, why is it here at Breakpoint?" I was like trying to figure it out because you had all these big names and this little titles here, and then all of a sudden I realized, yo, this game is hot. Like, it's got a different way to look at gaming. It's got a different understanding of gaming, and I think like when you think about blockchain, when you think about like what Web3 can do, I think these are like the infusion or fusion of games that we need to see where things get mixed, where things get like bring in different elements of gaming with financial instruments, like, you know, being able to have token and NFTs with values. Because now you're making this like really awesome soup. So without further ado, though, we got Jero, who is the founder, CEO of Valannia. Jero, how are you? How's everything going? How you feeling? How's the vibes? Market is back. You know, tell me how you're feeling, brother.
Man, it's a pleasure to be here. I have to say, before I say it again, Jorge, you guys are doing an amazing job in Solana gaming, and I think this is the proper moment because what you said, you know, we are in a really good moment in the market. I'm feeling good. I'm really happy with the progress in Valannia. We are working really hard. We are really close to have the first full game release in a couple of months. And yes, really happy with the progress. And obviously, it was a pleasure to be in the Solana Breakpoint last year. I hope we can be there this year for sure. And yes, happy to show the community what we are building and what we are doing. I think it's really important to what you mentioned before, to have new proposals in the ecosystem. And I think we have something different to show to the community, and I think this is our strength. I would say.
Yeah, 30 seconds. You got 30 seconds. Tell me what Valannia is. Give me the 30-second like elevator pitch. Go.
Okay. Well, Valannia is a universe of games. We are developing 3 games. One browser MMO game with a real world economy, politics, strategy, crafting. And then we are building a MOBA RTS in Real Engine 5, which is actually a mix of genres like a Warhammer and League of Legends, something like that. And we will be ready to release something at the end of this year. So more or less those 2 concepts, those 2 are the first 2 games that we are building. We have another one, but that's more ambitious, and you know, let's go step by step.
All right, I love that you already used the word ambitious, right? Because it's already ambitious right now to go from an MMO to kind of like your next build of what you're building. But tell me, like, what inspired this ambition? Like, where did you get the inspiration? Like, what was it throughout your life that you're here today to be able to tell us the story that you're building several different games but within the ecosystem?
Absolutely. Well, I'm a gamer myself for all my life, you know, and I always wanted to be to have a game to build something, and you know, I have a financial background for 10 years. So when I jumped into crypto in 2016, I started collaborating with some projects in the ecosystem. And then when I saw, you know, Axie Infinity in 2021, I really liked the idea, the concept, this mix between, you know, the real economy and gaming, which are my 2 passions. And I decided to jump in the bear market of 2022. I decided I have to create something. I need to create something to mix all the games I played in something that can work. And this is what we did actually. And we started slowly with a small team, and now we are more than 20 in the team and building, and we are really close to have the game. And, you know, as I said at the beginning, I'm really happy with the progress and what we have, and obviously being part of this gaming community in Solana.
Yeah. I appreciate that because I love that there's a background there that you actually know what you're doing, right? You actually have an understanding of how finance works, and if you plug that into a game, then you know that how to power an economy and not how to like dump an economy, kind of what we've seen in Web3. And so it's really great to hear that. Hey, man, I've really thought about this. This is kind of what the process is. The game itself, the economy that you're talking about, but what about the lore? Like, what about the lore that you've built? Because there's kind of like races, realms, and then real politics, right? And like this whole
Correct.
politics thing that you've put into the game, right? If I showed this to
Absolutely.
if I showed this to my mom, she's like, "Don't talk about politics when you're out live." And I'm like, "Mom, I love to talk about politics." She's like, "Don't do it, okay, Jorge?" And I'm like, "All right, Mom." And here I am getting to talk about politics live, and I'm like, "I have my opportunity. Why not?" Tell me, like, it sounds so spicy, but tell me how this all works together.
Perfect. Well, we are, as I told you at the beginning, we are gamers for all our lives, and we really like universes like, for example, Warhammer, with this deep lore and the deep histories. And we wanted to build something like that. We have 8 races in Valannia, each one with different combat units, different heroes, different abilities, different cities, everything. And yes, we wanted to create something different. Valannia is a world, is a planet outside, and it's really different because the humans came to this world with advanced technology to a medieval world, and everything started to happen there. And you can find Valannia, I think, is unique in the background, in the lore, because you can find a warrior with a weapon, with a sword, and maybe sunglasses. So this is the this is the kind of things you can discover in Valannia when it comes to lore. And yes, obviously politics is really attached to these 8 races, because every race will have their own president, voted by the players. So really deep, but it will be funny. And we are not in this step yet, but it will come soon.
Yeah, man. I think like you're making me think about like how this game is being designed and how you're kind of thinking of the lore and like how this all. But like, like, why wouldn't you not just build in Web 2? What made you come to Web 3? Like, right, you're building all these things, right? And sure, I kind of made a prelude of why Web 3 and all this stuff, but I want to hear from you of like why Web 3 and why the integrations of Web 3 to a game like this.
Well, we really wanted to create ownership. Now, I always say that we have a lot of games building in Web3, and this is awesome because everyone has their own ideas, their own mechanics, and this is awesome. But I love sometimes to back to basics, and the core idea. The core idea is ownership. I really want to have my assets, myself, being able to sell those in the marketplace if I can. I remember myself back in the days when I was player, gamer. I don't have time now, but before I used to play a lot of MMOs, and I remember one called Moonline, and I had a really expensive account because I played a lot when I was a kid, and I wanted to sell that account, but I was not able to set that account. So I really like the core idea, or the basic idea of the Web3 gaming ownership. And obviously we can build from here. And you have different options, as mentioned. The governance, politics, strategy, crafting, everything happening there. But I really like to go back to the basics, which is ownership.
Yeah, no, I love that because it kind of will segue into a question I have for you after this one. But my question would be now is why Solana and why you're building all this? Because now that I listen to it of ownership and being able to trade assets and go from one realm to another realm, like now this all is clicking, and I have to ask the $1 million question. It's like, why build on Solana?
Well, because we have a lot of now we have a really early MVP, which is an on-chain game, a crafting game. You can craft yes, equipment, equip your heroes and everything, but everything is on chain. We have more than 300 items on chain, and we are mixing different technologies like NFT, core NFTs, SFTs, and the cheapest way to create that for the players is Solana, and was Solana at the beginning. So this is the reason, and obviously because of the community. We know that the community in Solana, we love NFTs and this kind of assets, so it was perfect. And obviously, when I meet the team, the Solana, the in Solana Breakpoint also, it was a good election for sure.
Yeah, no, that's awesome to hear. And I think like it makes a lot of sense. You need speed. You need to be able to be frictionless. I think those are the kind of things when you look at video games in building in Web3, it's got to be seamless. It's all got to be on the back end. And, I think the more that the game is able to showcase the experience that it has, it will be more powerful that Web3 is there. And I think marketplaces, and look, man, I hope that it's not just season 1 that you're thinking about, right? It's like Valannia 2 and then like the Valannia 3, and like you start building this dynasty. And if you look at the dynasties throughout video games and everything that's entertainment and everything, man, that lore goes pretty deep. So I gotta ask, like, so you kind of went a little bit into what my before question was, is the ownership is one play, the token is another play, but what's the long-term game for a player in Valannia? Like, where do you see them being able to say, hey, for the next 6 months to a year, this is what, I play, I spend my time to escape. Hey, this is the way to immerse in this experience. Take us through that player journey if you can.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well, the concept in Valannia is not, as I said at the beginning, is not just one game. Our idea is that we are building a universe of games, and the idea is that you are able to play different games under the same IP, which is Valannia, with just one hero, which is one NFT. So this is our idea, to have this possibility to change the game with the same NFT and have yes, like different interactions between the games in our ecosystem. And our idea, is, as I said at the beginning, we know that this universe is ambitious, but we are here to build, to stay, and to create something different, So we are really happy with that, and our idea is that the players can play the different games, but we understand that the games are different, and actually we did it on purpose, because we have one browser MMO game, then we have the MOBA RTS game, and there is place for different kind of gamers. So our idea is this: you can play different games, different styles, different genres with just one NFT. And obviously the idea is, and we can talk about this later if you want, to onboard Web2 players, because I'm a gamer myself, and I understand that we need more gamers in this industry, in the Web3, and we are going there too.
Yeah, I think you even dropped a little bit about being able to switch from games. So talk to us, like, NFTs, digital ownership. We talked about that heavily, but you talked about different games. Am I able to go from the different games with the ownerships of the different assets, like the connection between all of them? I think that's like something that, like, as I start thinking, yeah, in Web 2 of like, different verticals of gaming, and man, when Super Smash came out, and you started seeing different characters, man, like, whew, like that rush. And I'm wondering, like, where will we see that type of rush, as well as being able to carry different ownership titles or cards or even characters within your game to other parts of your game?
Absolutely, this is where we are going. But as I said at the beginning, we have now more than 300 items on chain, which is crazy, to be honest. And yes, the idea is, at the beginning, you jump from one game to the other with just one hero. Okay, but for example, the MMO game, the browser MMO game, you use the hero, which is your avatar, let's say, but the avatar can go with combat units, and those combat units, for the people that knows Warhammer, the universe of Warhammer, is the same. You have the hero, then the combat units of his race, and this is the browser MMO game. And arena game, which is the MOBA, the MOBA like. You play with the hero, MOBA style game, but then also with your combat units, okay? And you have to manage them real time and everything. Yes, there you see the marketplace. You can see heroes and combat units. This is the only thing you will need, heroes and combat units, to play arena. However, for the MMO, which is where you extract resources, you craft items, you get pets, you level up the items, you improve them, your hero professions, you have to get involved in these crazy categories. And obviously we will have more. We are going step by step. We will have mounts, we will have lands and more, but we don't want to release everything, because I think, for example, for the lands, I really want to be close to the release of the game to release the lands, because we really want to have utility of the things we release.
Yeah, I think like I'm gonna pull up the tab that you guys even had for the current cards that you guys are gonna have that mint, and I'm like looking at the arena, which is what you're talking about,
arena.
and then yep, and then it goes into the realms.
This is realms, correct?
And then of course the last one being world, right?
This is the world, the most ambitious one.
Yeah. No, this is awesome, and I think like I think as we start seeing it finally, like we've been talking about it for 15 minutes, but to be able to see it now, it really puts a different perspective to what you're building, and I think like really cool. I think we've talked about a lot of the game, we talked a lot about the chain itself, but like let's talk a little bit about like development and roadmap. I think like it's really cool. Like what's the roadmap look like? I mean, publicly, I'm sure what's been said already from a roadmap perspective, but what do you think is where we really start getting Valannia, and like, it's something I can't sleep at night because I want to just keep playing?
Well, yes, as I told you before, now we have an MVP, which is the browser MMO, but the early steps, let's say the crafting, okay, the simple crafting. However, we are going to release the full game release of Realms in a couple of months. I can't say exactly when, but we are close. We are really close to that, and that will be like the starting point for us, for the people really want to play the game and enjoy it, because it will have a lot of mechanics. It will be you will feel it like a real game, and you don't have to think, okay, this is, we need more mechanics. It's early. No, you will see a final game. And I really like that we are going to release with free to play version, and also for Web 2 people, which is something that I really like, and we want this integration, and we really want to bridge the bridge, from Web 2 to Web 3, and put like an option for them to jump into Web 3 if they want. And yes, so that being said, the next step is the token. We are going to release a token, which is really cool because it's a token for the ecosystem. It's not for one of the games; it's for the whole ecosystem, Valannia. And yes, at the end of the year, we are going to release the public game for gameplay for the arena. So this year we will have both games live and running. Obviously, we are going to improve seasons and everything, but those two are our goals right now.
Yeah, no, man, I think like you have me kind of going a little crazy because I'm trying to picture what couple months means for you, and I'm now, because I'm looking at that roadmap and then looking at the game, and then again you have the MMO probably still like a couple years away, I would say, right? Because that's the most ambitious part. But I think one thing that you just grabbed here is that like, hey, we need to make sure that the game is Web 2 and Web 3 ready. Make sure that the game has its Web 2 component. But hey, if the Web 3 player wants to go and engage even further, they do. I think it's probably the most missed thing in Web 3 gaming, realizing that there is Web 2 gamers.
I lost you.
Yeah, I got you. Do you hear me?
I think I lost you, Jorge.
I can hear you still. Can you hear me? Do you want to change your speakers? The audio? Maybe the Bluetooth died? Chat, can you hear me? Let's see if the chat could hear me. Can you hear me now, Jero?
Can you hear me?
I could hear you perfectly fine.
No, I can't hear you.
Chat says they could hear me. So I think it's got to be the audio on your side. Oh. You want to try changing that speaker setting?
Let me change.
Yeah, because we could hear you.
1 sec. We can hear you. Now talk, please.
Yep. Yep.
No.
And everybody could hear you.
Not sure. On the chat too. So
if you want, I would say leave and come back, and then I'll bring you back in. But I think that might solve your. All right, chat. While I try to get Hedo back on, I think he got a little too excited about Web3 and crashed the audio. We got a little too excited about the stream and crashed the audio. Or the market is just pumping and it crashed the audio. But nevertheless, it's always something's always going on with technology. And now, do we got you?
I can hear you now. So,
all right. Good to have you back. We are so back. How back? We're back.
Let's
hey,
go.
Man. Love it. Hey man, we were talking a little bit about, again, where the stages of life. We've talked about a little bit about the roadmap, and we were talking a little bit about, where things are really most important to gamers, especially on the Web 2 to Web 3. One of which I think is missed completely, and I think that's the part where games forget that Web 2 gamers might not care about ownership, might not care about the token, might not care about assets and paying for them and knowing that there's a marketplace for them, right? Because they just want to have fun and they want to experience the fun, and it's just something. So I think it's great to hear that you are kind of very much, hey, how can this be Web 2 and then Web 3 plugins or Web 3 Play? Is it like something browser that pops up or whatever that is? Because essentially, if we want the masses, we have to talk like the masses, and we have to talk like the masses even understand it. Because I'll tell you, NFTs, digital ownership, all these things still hasn't really clicked. Now, there is a generation there, the younger generation, maybe as young as me, right? Because I'm 18 years old, that understands this very much well of what digital collectibles are, what digital ownership looks like. And so I think the future there is very, very strong, but we're still very much years away from that itself. With what you just mentioned of Valannia and the way you're thinking of Valannia, talk to us about what that would look like for the Web 2 gamer. And will there be education for the Web 2 gamer to say, oh man, I just spent 100 hours on Valannia. Maybe I should check out what my value is on a token. And I have the ability to say, hey, I want to buy more assets.
Really, really, really cool what you said. Actually, it's true. I have friends that they follow Valannia because they are my friends, but they say, okay, man, let me know whenever I have to just go and play, and I don't care about wallets and whatever. So, and this is the majority, we have to say, in the Web 2 gamer ecosystem. So we have to take that into account for sure. Obviously, in our case, we started in Web3, and we are building here in Web3 and release things and keep developing. But yes, our goal is to be able to onboard Web2 people, and the onboarding will be really easy. Our idea is for the people just to go in the website. In the case of Arena, they download the game and they play for free, like for example League of Legends. That's it. And then if you want to buy and a skin, for example, okay, you pay the skin with cash, but you are buying an NFT at the end. And then in the case of the in Realms in the browser MMO, more or less the same. We are giving the people the possibility of starting with a non NFT hero, and at some point they have to upgrade this hero for improved experience to a real NFT. But they will be able to upgrade this, using a credit card if they want. But always, we really wanna keep the vertical for the Web3 people can stay in Web3 if they choose it, which is, I think the majority or in Web3. So, but yes, I think I really agree here with you. I think that the Web2 gamers, they don't care ownership. They just want to play. If we see, for example, again the same example, League of Legends, people is not watching to get revenue. They actually expand in skins, which is cool because they are enjoying. And I think this is what we need. We need cool games for them to enjoy and want to play, actually.
Yeah, no, I think like it's great to have that you have friends and family members as well that are like very much watching, because that feedback is probably the most important, as they probably don't know much about Web3. My favorite thing is to go to my friends, is to go to like the people I hang out with and just talk to them and tell them like what I'm doing, and just watch them look at me like I'm like talking in a different language, and they're just like, what the hell are you doing? Like they still don't get it, right? They still don't understand, but they kind of do, right? But it just shows how hard it is to try to educate somebody about Web3, because technology is just one of those things that it's not sexy, right? It's not something to like be like, yeah, like woo, like technology, man, like this is no, right? It's more like technology a lot of times will click once they see it kind of happen. And in Web3, we technically haven't seen it happen just yet, right? Games are doing it, but flushed out, we haven't seen a game launch. Like a AAA title still has not launched in Web3. We don't have a case study for what the where. We've seen great games launch, and we've seen great games get reactions from people and have given us the feedback to say, oh man, we should improve this. We should talk about this. So I think we're definitely on the right path. We are still very much early, right? And we are very much early in the whole process. But I think again, you're very much listening to what's happening. You're listening to what where things are going, and that's just the most important thing. So Hero, let's jump in though. I want to jump into a little bit of the game itself. Like I love for us to like go into kind of
Absolutely.
like how where should I start? Like, what screen should I pull up? I'm gonna pull up first the
Sure.
Valannia website, which I got right here. And so here's where I come, Valannia.com. If I need to get
Yes.
my hero, this is probably where I should start first, right? Let's get the hero first. But
Totally. There, for example, there in the homepage, you see both games. Yes, they're actually same. You see, this is the pre-alpha of Arena, which is, as I said, a mix from between a MOBA and an RTS. This is the hero actually, Sir Arturus, and you have abilities, skills, and also you have the combat units that also they have also skills. But that's pre-alpha footage. We need to show more in that game. And if you go, I think to the top or bottom, yes, this is Realms. Actually, Realms is much more advanced now that what we are showing here. But yes, you have here, you can see there the all the resources, the heroes, the management, the quests in this case. And yes, you have many things, many options, as you can see there. You can equip things, stats. But yes, if you want to start, then I can explain you a bit more. You can go top right access maybe or
yeah. Well,
get
let
a
me ask you a
hero.
quick question before we get
Sure.
started. Like this character that really got me going. What do you
Yes.
think would be like? Is it going to be like single players, but also guilds, also player like teams? Where's the incorporation? Leaderboards? Is there going to be championship series? Like where do you
Okay.
see like a lot of that stuff happening?
Yeah, I can talk a bit about this. We have to separate from Realms, which is this game, from arena. Okay, especially realms is more for groups of players or guilds, and the idea is they control some specific regions in the map. They control resources. They craft, they build in the map and everything. So obviously the good part of the token, I don't want to speak too much about the token, but just quick one, the token is the most difficult resource in the map to extract. So this is the idea behind the token. The players will need to go to far away, and it will be really hard to discover those veins of the tokens, and they can extract it, refine it, and convert it to a token. So this is the idea. Obviously, there are 3 different kind of zones. We have green, yellow, and red, and in the red zones, you can lose your NFTs if you die there. So there is a hardcore mode also for this kind of people that like the risks. So yes, this is the marketplace. We have the 8 different races you see there. You have Faerun, Pirith, Glor, Human, Styx, and Lerith, Santar, and Altari. And those are the heroes. Okay, we have 40 heroes. We have 2 collections of NFTs, the OGs, and then the Beyond collection. Okay, so yes, this is for example, the Faerun one, and yes, you see there the role, which is the class, a bit of lore, the location of the hero, and everything. You see there the professions, for example, because the professions are attached to the NFT. So if you improve your profession level, your NFT will have that attached. So this is another hero, ranger in this case.
Which one's your favorite hero?
I shouldn't say that, I think. Well, I really like the Glor race, this one, because yes, those one, because it's like focus in the mining, in the extraction of resources. So for realms, for arena, they are like they have physical damage. They have physical damage. Yes, you have pets, for example, those.
This is so like, dude, you put so much time into building this. It's so cool.
Thank you very much, man. The team is crazy. In the pets, we don't have too many pets, to be honest. Same than special units. In this case, this is Rust. This is a pet that improves your crafting abilities. Okay.
Is he a developer too, or no?
Sorry?
I said, is Rust a Rust developer too, or no?
No. It should be. It could be good. I think we need more Rust developers.
Hey, there's a chat and a question. There's a chat coming up with: would you consider implementing a scholarship system that could onboard Web2 people like Axie did? I think your game definitely has that kind of mechanics to do something. So I think it was a pretty cool question. Yeah.
Yes. Well, we will have that, and this will be an emerging pop-up for the free-to-play players. If they wanna have a real hero, they will be able to do that. And let me, Jorge, if you can go to resources in the menu, top. Yes, there. It's really interesting. I would like to explain really quickly how the gathering resources is working. Okay, because I think it's really interesting. I think I didn't see this before, to be honest. If someone did, please let me know. Well, we have, as I said, 8 different professions. Okay, in order to gather, let's say, copper ore, for example, you need or wood, for example, you need a map with exact location in the actually in the map. From an explorer, for example, those are maps. Okay, you can see the richness, the whatever. So the miner needs a map with an exact location in the map of Valannia to go and extract this resource. Okay, so in order to extract this resource, the miner needs a map, needs tools also from blacksmith. So we are creating this synergy and this circular economy with the professions, and every hero only can have one profession. So every profession needs from the other one. So I think it's really cool, and
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, no, I think, man, like again, it's been well thought out in the way that again, a player cannot just jump into something and like it happen instantly. I think there's a lot of strategy involved into what you're trying to build here, and I think that's exactly what some of these game loops are sometimes missing. So, congrats to you, and congrats to where you are. Let me
thank you very
go in
much, man.
through gems and talk to us a little bit
Yes,
about the gems and
totally. I will go really fast into them. Gems. The cool part is that people can't craft gems, and they can go and get gems. They drop randomly now through a staking, because we have a staking for the heroes, and also in the dungeons we have some dungeons. And yes, the gems are used in jewelry profession, and also in order to improve the equipment, the swords, the everything. Okay, so really cool. Components are like, you can see tools, for example, there you can see special components. Yes,
yeah, man,
items in general.
this is great. So this is all browser based. When you mentioned about like possibly also mobile and stuff like that, how is that component going to work?
You said mobile,
Yeah.
or no? We are going full for browser
Okay.
in
I just
realms,
didn't know if the marketplace would be mobile. Okay, I thought there was
No,
going
no,
to be
no,
some
no.
sort of okay, cool. Yeah, that's great. I think if you're just browser based and all of it, maybe
Yes.
maybe that's some inspiration maybe of creating the marketplace on the mobile, because you start thinking about ways to keep going on a marketplace, and mobile ways are always something that, hey, how do I keep playing without being on the browser?
No,
But this is cool.
but obviously we will improve the mobile display, because now you can't do too much in the mobile,
Yep.
but we will.
Yep.
We need, because as long as it's a browser game, we want people to be able to play, from the mobile,
Yeah.
obviously.
And talk to us really quickly about these buildings and like the small structure.
Okay, perfect. Yes. Well, we just released the strongholds for the guilds, that are big structures that players can put in the map, and they can, in the strongholds, they can get, improve, yes, like crafting mechanics. They can improve the extraction, the gathering, options. And obviously we have taxes in the strongholds for the guilds. This is a really cool mechanic for the guilds to be able, in the short term, to have revenue as a group. So this is really cool. And yes, the Wayfarer tents, they will be able to put those in also into the map. Now they don't have utility at all, but players can craft it. Okay, so yes, the map, which is the map I have in my background, players will be able to build in the map. Okay, so castles, strongholds, and many other things.
And
This
there's
is the
also a
ranking.
ranking, huh?
Yes, we have a holder rankings here, which is great. And we have a really good community that is supporting us really hard, to be honest.
Yeah, man. Create a guild, man. This is like
And
I'm
yes,
truly excited. Like, and this is just again being able to play, right? That's
yes,
the most
if
important.
you want to play now, if you click, you have to log in, of course.
Yeah.
But for people that can check. But yes, you will see the map. You will be able to get involved in professions. You have eight different professions. You will be able to level up your hero. Go to dungeons. There are many things that players can do now, but as mentioned, it's not the final game. We are close to that, and in a couple of months we will have that live.
What do you think is the most underrated feature that Valannia has?
Now, in my opinion, the economy itself, because we don't have token yet, and we have people crafting there, and we have a lot of interactions between the players and the economy. We have, I think, around 100K transactions in the platform every month, with a small community, which is growing. But I think the economy is really good. To be honest, this is my, but
Yeah.
this is my opinion, obviously. But whenever we are ready to introduce the token and these mechanics, it will be better. But if I have to say, I can speak a bit of what's coming in Realms. I think it will be really cool because it will be a browser game that will have these buildings in the map, like the castles, where the players can level up the castles and craft, combat units and everything. And also you have the possibility of having just one hero, do quests, explore the map, get involved in the cities, in different professions, and you don't need to build anything. You can go to dungeons and do your own stuff. So I think this to be a browser is really deep, in my opinion. So what I like the most, to be honest, is the quality we are releasing to be a browser.
Yeah, no, I completely on the same of the quality, because I think that's what attracted me the first time when I saw it at Breakpoint, because I said at Breakpoint, like, again, like, what is this right now? Why is it here? And then I went up to it and I was like, oh, I was like, this is actually really cool. And like, damn, like, this is so different again. And to be browser based, that's when I was like, okay, man, like
Totally.
these guys are pioneers. Let me ask you last question here is what has been part of building this game, you think the toughest part? What has there been a moment in building this game that you're just like grabbing your keyboard, throwing it against the wall, taking your headphones, chucking it and saying, I'm done?
Well, to be honest, there are a couple of things that I can share for sure. I'm happy to do that. We are developing Valannia with not too many VCs behind us, with our own funds, the community, the sales we did, and this was amazing, and it's been a really good experience. And actually, it was our B plan because we expected to have more VCs, but actually, I'm really happy to be here without too many VCs behind, because now we are in a really good moment. We are really close to release the token, and we managed to do things really, really well to start to have started with 3 people in the team. Now, as I said, we are 25, and it's easier now, and things are going much better. But yes, this point I could be, and also the gamer community in Web3 space is not too big at the moment. And so those 2 aspects is what I can share with you. But obviously, we are good now.
Yeah, man. Tokens coming soon. Roadmaps coming soon. Some really great, exciting things are happening with Valannia. I need to figure out now on my end how to make sure I keep up with the notifications. How do we make sure? Valannia.com or is it Valannia.io? I forgot what's the website. Plug us the details. Give us the X, who to follow, the Discord, and what guilds maybe we should start looking at joining.
Absolutely. Well, we have Valannia.com, obviously, our Twitter. We share everything there. And yes, actually today I have to say that we start a crafting competition with 50 Sol reward, which is cool. Now that Sol is flying, can be interesting for these people to see, to check. And for guilds, well, we have many, to be honest, but I will say some, maybe LMR, maybe Haim, maybe we have many. I don't wanna forget Darkcore. We have many.
Yeah, no, definitely. I think some good guilds in there to start getting some training and learning about the game. So Hero, I appreciate the time. I'm excited about what you're building. I'm excited that you came on. I'm excited that you participated in the season pass. I think, man, this is just the start. This is season pass 0. And I tell everybody, season pass 0 was such an experiment, right? It was an experiment for all of us at Solana to figure out gaming and figure out, like, hey, man, like, where the gamers at? Like, how many gamers? Like, I understand data and everything, but I'll tell you one thing, like, games like this, like what you're building, I can't wait for season 1, season 2, when you're more built out and we're also more built out. And there's other mechanics within the season pass that allow us to get into questing and what the game is actually receiving something within the game, playing within the game, a mission within the game. That's when things get really cool within season pass 1, 2, or 3, whenever we match up again. So again, Hero, thanks for having you come on. I really appreciate the insights, the way that you're building, just being transparent with us. I think it's just the coolest thing. Something in Web 2 we're not allowed to do is to bring on the CEO of a game and say, hey man, what are you building and why are you building it? And hey, like, what are the things that are, hurdles within Web 3? So shout out to you. Truly, truly excited for what you're building.
Absolutely, Jorge. Thank you very much. As I said before, I think what you are doing in Solana gaming is amazing. I think this is what Solana needed actually for the ecosystem in gaming. So keep going, man. We will be there to support the ecosystem. And thank you for having me here today. And thank you very much, everyone, for watching.
Yeah, and anytime. Well, we're gonna have to run this back. We're gonna have to bring this back to another one when you are
Absolutely.
now, maybe even next couple months, as you said. So again, huge blast. Thank you, man. Thank you to everybody at the Valannia team that came through. I think again, we're doing these episodes Monday through Friday, 10 a.m. EST. So yeah, hit the like, hit the comment, hit the retweet. We'll be back next week with another exciting lineup. Until the next time. Appreciate it, Hero. We'll see each other in the game. I'll make sure that I get my guild going, and
let's go.
maybe we'll battle it out, and we'll
You're welcome.
A live stream.
Absolutely.
Take care, man. Ciao.
Thank you very much. Bye.